Okay, now let's look at the last two examples we have, example 4 and 5, and this really deals with the angles in a trapezoid. And first, let's just talk about that. What we know is that the base angles of isosceles triangles are congruent. So angle 1 and 2 is congruent, and angle A and B would be congruent. Okay? In addition, we know that angle B and N would add to 180 degrees, same side interior. And we also know that these two angles would add to 180 degrees or be supplementary. So that's kind of the framework that we'll be working with when we try to solve this problem. So the measure of angle 1 is 4x minus 60. And then it says the measure of this angle over here is 30 minus x. So we're really focused on these two angles here. So the first thing we know is that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So these two angles are equal, okay? And in addition, the angle 2 has to be equal to angle 1. If you think about it, we've got two parallel lines, we've got a transversal. These two angles, angle 2 and angle C, are congruent. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Okay? So that means I can set angle 1, which is 4x minus 60, equal to 30 minus x. So now I can solve, add x to both sides. I get 5x minus 60 equal 30. Add 60 to each side, and I get 5x equal 90. Divide by 5, and I get x equal 18. Okay, so now I know what x is equal to. X is 18. So then it asks for the measure of angle 1. So angle 1 is 4x minus 60, or 4 times 18 minus 60, or 12. And angle C is 30 minus x, or 30 minus 18, which is also 12. So those two angles are 12 degrees, and x is 18. Okay, let's look at another problem. In this problem, I'm focused on angle B and angle D. And it asks us to find the measure of x and the measure of angle B and angle D. So right away I know that D and A are supplementary. So I know those have to add to 180. I know that angle 1 and angle B, angle A I should say, and angle B are congruent. So if angle B is 4x plus 40, so is angle A 4x plus 40. So these two angles, 4x plus 40 plus D, which is 3x, must add to 180. So 4x plus 40 plus 3x has to equal 180 degrees. Or 7x plus 40 has to equal 180. Subtract 40 from both sides. So 7x has to equal 140. Divide by 7. So x has to equal 20. All right? So if x equals 20, then 3 times x, which is the measure of angle D, has to equal 60. And the measure of angle B, which is 4x plus 40, or 4 times 20 plus 40, or 80 plus 40, has to equal 120, which makes sense This angle equals 120. I'm sorry. These two angles equal 120. And these two angles equal 60. And they add together to equal 180 degrees. Okay. Those are the final examples. So now in class, I want you to work on the worksheet that's being handed to you, which are really just problems similar to these that you should be able to work now.